Hey everyone, it is Camy Kennedy, life coach and meditation teacher, coming on here right around noon today. Running a little late, but that's okay. I'm going to give everybody a chance to hop on today. Normally on Tuesdays, I teach mindfulness and meditation at Prima Elements. And so Prima has allowed me to come on and offer you a free mindfulness and guided meditation session today. So, I want to start off typically how I do these as people are joining is we talk about how to get set up for meditation, really what meditation is, and then how to use it during these times, which would be really today we're talking about mindfulness and just checking in and becoming aware of what's going on in our bodies, what's going on in our thoughts, and how to really take care of ourselves during this time. So, firstly, I'm going to make sure I stay hydrated. And this is another great thing. Prima offers alkaline water. Would highly recommend that, staying hydrated. And then also starting to learn to come up with a wellness routine that is going to work for you during these transitionary times. A lot of people are now staying at home where they may have been commuting and going out into the world to do things, and it may just be feeling different. I know for me, I had a really good routine going, and now, my life hasn't changed that much because I do work from home. I do coaching calls from home. I do a lot of videos and podcasting from home. However, I was a fan of getting up and going to the gym in the morning. So for me, coming up with a new routine of self care has been spending time out in the beautiful sunshine in North Carolina, going for a jog, just laying in the sun, getting some vitamin D, and then moving my body in different ways in the forms of yoga and stretching to make sure that I keep myself mobile. So as we begin this mindfulness process, I want you to grab a journal if you have it, or you can always use your phone and you can be taking notes in your phone, but start to jot down what you're thinking you need some care around. And that might be, oh, now I'm eating ice cream every single night before bed, or now I'm drinking wine a little bit more than I used to, or, I missed being able to go to the gym, so now what can I do? So just start to kind of jot down some intentions for this session so that when we enter into our meditation, we can bring some focused awareness into what it is we pay attention to. So, what I've noticed a lot, and I think a lot of people are doing now, is watching more TV, specifically Netflix. And for me, what's really important, and I think for all of us, what's important is what goes into our brain, what goes into our mind, what we're visually reading, seeing, interacting with in an energetic way. So the question comes to mind of, do you have a positive source of inspiration, a group of people, a Facebook group, a podcast, YouTube videos that you can go to for a source of inspiration, for motivation, for hope, for things like that? I know for me, I've been watching a lot of Netflix lately. I will admit that. And I've actually been watching, there's there's an episode, it might be on Amazon Prime actually. It is called The Hunters. I don't know if anybody has seen this. If you are, whatever you're watching on Netflix, go ahead and type it in the comments because I'm curious. But the one that I'm watching is called The Hunters, and it is actually based on a true story. After World War II, a lot of German Nazis were brought over to the US, and there actually were some survivors of the Holocaust that went and started hunting them down and being vigilantes towards the atrocities that happened during that time. And basically, some of those people were taken from Germany, brought back over to the US, and were never punished for their crimes, never met any justice. So the reason I bring that up is because as I'm watching it, I'm going, wow, this is really graphic. I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like how this makes me feel because it's so graphic, and it's just like, wow, how could people do that to each other? It's horrific to think. However, what I like to take from things is typically a lesson or something about mindset, that's going to help me in my life or that's going to help me to teach others. So, what I've been listening to a lot lately, and kind of in the history space of this, is just the mental fortitude that it took to get through something like that. Just the forward focusing, thinking about the future, taking it day by day. And in my trips, I've traveled many places and I've seen a lot of forgiveness. So for me, what it shows me is the human spirit, our ability for resiliency, our ability to forgive, our ability to move forward through tragedy. So when I'm choosing things to watch and put into my mind, sometimes I just want entertainment. But a lot of times, in being mindful, I want to have a really good story and a really good takeaway from that story, because our life is just a series of stories that we tell ourselves. We can tell ourselves this is the way it's going to be, and we can put a positive spin on it. We can tell ourselves this is the way it's going to be. We can put a negative spin on it. And whatever it is we tell ourselves is going to be our truth. So, in starting to think about that, start to think about your daily life this week, last week, moving forward into this coming week, and start asking yourself, what can I learn? What lessons are there for me to teach either myself or to teach my children or to teach others from this? What are the things that I'm learning through this time? So these are kind of some prompts as we sit down to get into the meditation, and we're gonna start the meditation here shortly. But I wanted to give people a couple minutes to get warmed up, get seated, and get in tune, and kind of set your intention as we start to move forward. So for meditation, the purpose is to be mindful. I'm just going to scoot back so you can see me a little bit more, so you can see my posture and kind of mirror and mimic that. I'm sitting on a cushion so that my hips are a little bit more elevated than my front thighs. You can also lay down if you feel more comfortable laying down, or you can be seated in a chair with your feet flat on the ground. Meditation, the posture is not always really comfortable, and that's okay. The purpose of this is to commit to the practice, which in some cases you might feel resistance come up in your body where you're like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. If you need to shift and move, that is fine. But what we're wanting to do is connect with the body, connect with the energy, and start to just notice what's going on within us, around us, and start to be able to ask those questions that we talked about earlier on in the introduction, and start to actually come up with answers in terms of things that we might add into our day. Maybe we're going to receive an answer to a question that we've been struggling with. Maybe we are sitting in a space of fear and we're going to learn how we're able to deal with that. Maybe there's a space of grief going on in our lives right now, of losing someone, losing something, losing some security, and then how we can move through those phases as well. So if you're a first time meditator, welcome and thank you for being here. Don't need to put any expectations on yourself when you sit down to meditate. It is really just doing the process is winning. Doing the process is doing it right. Showing up is doing it right. So go ahead and release any expectations right here and right now. Also know that you're going to start to notice your thoughts as we move into a meditation. That's okay. You're just going to start to notice, wow, I have a lot of thoughts coming through. That's okay. All of that is okay, and that is part of the process. You can also use this as a recording again and again. So I invite you, if you like this one, you can use this as a recording. You can also find, I'm going to be using Insight Timer today, which is a free app. I'm a teacher on there. There's also many beautiful other teachers on there. This is a meditation app that you can get for free with so many great meditations that you can start to use daily. And I'm going to use that for our background music today. So go ahead and get comfortable. Grab whatever you need to grab. I'm going to get our music started through Insight Timer. I'm going to go ahead and go to Timer, and we're going to use Deep Om. So as Begin to get seated. Just find a comfortable spot. And then begin to align your spine. And you can choose an area which you want to focus on. You can look at the ground, kind of just look down at a space on the ground. A lot of times people will light a candle. You can look at the candle, stare at it, and just be really aware of the candle. You can eyes if that feels comfortable for you. So whatever feels best for you, you can start to align that spine. And focus in if you're looking at something, or gently close your eyes. Just start to become aware of your breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, feeling the air actually coming through the nostrils. Keeping the spine lengthened. And just focusing on your breathing without judgment. You don't need to change any breath or any breathing. We're actually going to try a breathing practice today. This just came to me. This is single nostril breathing. And I'm actually going to use this today because sometimes when I have a hard time focusing, this helps me stay focused on my breath. So I'm going to use this today, and you can guide along with me. You're going to take your right finger and place it on your right nostril. So you're just going to breathe in through the left nostril only. So breathing in. And then you're going to close off the left nostril and breathe out through the right nostril. Then you're going to breathe in through that right nostril and switch and breathe out through the left nostril. Breathe in through the left nostril. Switch, breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Switch, breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Switch, breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Switch, breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Switch, breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Switch, breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Switch, breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Switch, breathe out through the left. And release it down. Coming back to normal breath, I just want you to notice what that did. For me, it helps me to stay focused. In that moment, the only thing I was thinking of was of my breath. It wasn't of anything else. It was staying with that rhythmic breathing. I find this works really well when we start to become anxious, when we start to have racing thoughts. You can continue to use this practice for as long as you would like through this session, or you can go back to this practice at any time. From here, we're going to work on a little bit more breath work. Breathing in through the belly. So you want to fill up the belly with air. Hold for a second at the bottom. Exhale. Press out through the belly. Try to release all that air. Breathing back in. Fill up the belly. Hold, pause for a second, exhale, pressing out through the belly. Breathing in, exhale out. Working at your own pace. Filling up that belly. Exhaling out. And resume normal breathing. I find that doing this type of breathing gets me out of my head and into my body. As we connect here, we're going to ground ourselves into the earth, into the ground, to whatever it is that we're seated on, feeling our sit bones, whatever area is contacting the ground, lengthening up that spine, feeling the feet into the floor if your feet are touching the floor. Feeling connected, grounded, present in this moment. We're not reaching forward into the future. We're not thinking of the past. We're feeling into the cushion, the floor, the bed, whatever it is that our body's making contact with. You're actually feeling the heaviness, the denseness of the body, feeling gravity pulling us into the earth, into the ground. And in this way, really spending time grounding in. What this does is it reminds us to be here in the present, connected to the earth, connected to our bodies, connected with our families, with the here and now. Instead of being so up in our head in the what ifs and the maybes and the how to's and the what do I do's. Pulling that energy down into the area of the hips, into the area of the tailbone. Reminding ourselves that we're still here, we're still present, we're still alive. Thinking about the area right at the tailbone, right in between the hips. Actually imagine a beautiful sparkling red light energizing that area, sending in a sense of security, sense of feeling supported, feeling loved, feeling cared for. If you're having trouble in this very moment and thinking about that, think of a time when you felt very, very supported. Think of how that feels with the earth supporting you. You can even imagine an energetic embrace of the highest love and compassion, trusting there's an energy that's for our highest good, feeling gratitude that we have an internet connection, that we're sitting on a cushion, we're in a home, a roof over our heads. there is a way that in this moment we have enough air to breathe. We have the ability to see, hear, and talk. We have air in our lungs. In this moment, it is safe to go within, to explore mindfully. Imagining that red, sparkling ball of light moving up into the belly, to the lower abdomen, changing color into a vibrant, sparkling orange color, reminding us that we are creative beings, that we can be creative with this new space and time that we are in. We have the ability to create new and different ways of showing up, new and different ways of offering value. The spark of creativity ignited within us, bringing a soft smile to the mouth, just reminding us of a time when we were truly creative. And even those that think they're not creative, think they're not artistic, as human beings, we are all creative. We have the ability to use tools. We have the ability to construct things. We have the ability to think creatively and outside the box. And maybe this time that we're in, with more time with ourselves, maybe this is our opportunity to become more creative, to practice more of our artistic side, our musical side, maybe just creative thinking or writing, and embracing that as a part of us. Moving up into the torso, right below the rib cage, right where our diaphragm operates, envisioning a beautiful yellow, sparkling, golden light. As we breathe into our belly, remembering our inner sense of worthiness and value, our sense of personal power, our sense that nothing can be taken away from us to make us less worthy, whether that's a job or a relationship or a title. Be worthy, regardless of outside circumstances. Filling up the belly with the belief that we are worthy, and allowing, if there's a struggle in believing that, just allowing and recognizing. And maybe even thinking of something that you truly love, a living being, a person, an animal, a child, your child, or maybe someone that you care about. And thinking about how you truly believe that they are worthy. They are worthy, and there's nothing they need to do to earn that worthiness. Smiling as you think of them, they are so worthy. And then in that moment, turning that mirror and reflection back upon yourself and reminding yourself that you too are worthy. Breathing in that sense of wholeness as we move up into the area right around the heart, into the chest area. Imagining an emerald green color sparkling through the area of the heart, through the chest, with every breath filling up that space. Breathing in love, Exhaling out love, sending love inward towards ourselves. Exhaling out love outward towards others. Bring in this sense of compassion for ourselves during this time, which may be a big transition for some of us, which may offer up new opportunities for growth and awareness and for love for ourselves. How can we take care of ourselves during this time? The simple things. Getting enough water, enough sleep, eating nutritious foods, spending time like this in mindfulness and relaxation, detoxing, resting the nervous system, not staying in the space of fear, but calling in love. Spending time in the heart area. If you're having trouble connecting with your heart, you can actually place a hand over the heart. So you can tune in and feel the heart beating. It's okay if you can't. You just focus on the palm and feeling it on your chest, being aware and mindful. And giving yourself love and compassion and grace as you practice something that may be new. Exhaling out, release that hand. Go ahead and move that energy up to the area of the throat. Imagining a beautiful blue shimmering light energizing the area of the throat, the neck. Noticing if there's any tightness. Relaxing through the jaw, relaxing through the neck and throat. Sending this area the healing energy and love. Sending reminders to ourselves that what we speak is going to become our truth. Are we speaking words of fear? Are we speaking words of encouragement and compassion? Are we speaking words of love and grace to ourselves and to others? For here there's no judgment, just awareness, an intention of how we can do better, show up better. Maybe noticing how our words have affected ourselves or affected others. Being cooped up in the house with the family, maybe noticing small annoyances. Maybe noticing some times where some things were said that maybe weren't the most loving, kind words. Forgiving ourselves for that now. Setting our intention moving forward. In the future, when we feel triggered or annoyed or fearful, we are going to choose to be intentional with our speech. And although we may think it or feel it, we're going to commit before we speak. We want to make sure that this is something that is enriching for our lives, for our families' lives, for others. This is including what we post on social media, how we respond, what we say. Just being intentional during this time. Deep breath in and exhale. Release. It's okay if we've said something we regret. We all do that. We're human. We're only human. Daily forgiveness is a practice. Being intentional moving forward. Bring our awareness up into our face, right in the center of our forehead. Imagining a beautiful indigo colored. Indigo is like the color of denim jeans. Just filling up the area of our forehead right between the eyes. You can imagine it filling up the entire head. And also bringing awareness to the thoughts that we're having. Because our thoughts create the words that we speak. And at this moment, as we connect, focusing right between our two eyes, right in the center of our forehead, you can choose to ask the question here, how can I think in a more serving way? In other words, how can I think thoughts that serve me and my family and our future? There's no right or wrong. It just allows us to notice when we think certain thoughts. It may lead us down a path of thoughts, feelings, actions, behaviors, and outcomes that really aren't serving us, or serving our immediate family, or serving those around us. So today, tuning in and imagining. Sometimes I like to imagine something funny, just to take out the seriousness of this. I like to imagine if you had a little Jiminy Cricket type person, your conscience, a little Jiminy Cricket. Or maybe you have another favorite little character or cartoon of maybe Yoda, Baby Yoda. That would be a good one. I like that one. For me personally. If I just imagine what Baby Yoda would have to say to me, or Jiminy Cricket, or whatever you're envisioning in your mind's eye, what would be their intention for you, their wisdom for you? Imagine this even from your higher self, from you in the future, from Source, from God, from your guidance system. But I even like to think Baby Yoda. Asking that question, what do I need to shift to my daily routine? I need to add in some movement, add in some mindfulness, maybe replace some of my Netflix binging with maybe more inspirational or educational things, maybe podcasts. Maybe it's time to start journaling. Whatever is true for you, just envision it and allow it. What is your little Baby Yoda saying to you? It may just be a feeling. For me, Baby Yoda is just very calm. Even in the face of fear and things that seem very big and out of control. It's like he doesn't even know his true power yet, because he's just a baby. But he's starting to learn, just as we're starting to learn the power we have within inside us. Maybe it's just cultivating the peace and the calm during the day, instead of going down the fear spiral. Go ahead and really connect to whatever feeling you're wanting to cultivate in this moment. I want you to imagine pulling out pen and paper right now and jotting down that sentence, that feeling, that wisdom that's coming from our higher self, our guidance. And go ahead and close the book. Exhale out and bring your awareness up through the top of the head, imagining a beautiful purple, sparkling light that's opening up to our source, to our higher selves, to the energy of highest love and compassion. Just feeling connected to a loving, supporting energy. Allowing insights to come. How we can care for ourselves. How we can set up our day energetically for our own well-being, for our productivity, for our creativity. And then also asking, what is it that I need to do? Have I been putting something off? Have I been avoiding something? If I could just move forward in it, it would really propel me in what it is that I'm looking to achieve during this time. The first thing usually is the thing that needs to be done, the monkey on your back, thing that you're just like, oh, I don't want to. But now we have an abundance of time. Maybe it's time to clean out that storage unit. Maybe it's time to organize those files, clean out the car. Maybe it's time to do that paperwork, whatever it is. When we commit to doing these things, it clears up our energy, gives us something to focus on. And then after asking, what is it that I need to do? We can then tune in and ask, who is it that I need to be? In this moment, in this time, with these circumstances, who is it that I need to be to come out on the other side? And how can I embody that today? By doing something differently than I've done in the past to get a different result, to move forward in my future, or maybe to just rest in the moment. Rest in the current moment, spend time with family, feel gratitude for what we do have, the simplicity. We're going to start to bring our awareness back in, start to revisit into our bodies, so to bring that energy right back into the center of the body. I'm going to read this to you from the book Louise Hay, Meditations to Heal Your Life. I cherish my meditation times. The wisdom I seek is within me. At least once a day I sit quietly and go within to connect with the wisdom and knowledge that is always there. This wisdom and knowledge is only a breath away, and the answers to all the questions I shall ever ask are sitting there waiting for me. Meditating is a joy for me. I sit quietly, take a few deep breaths, relax, and go to that place of peace within. After a little while, I come back to the present moment refreshed and renewed and ready for life. Every day is a joyous new adventure for me because I choose to listen to my own inner wisdom. This wisdom is always available to me. It comes from the essence of that which exists behind the universe of time, space, and change. When I meditate, I connect with the deep inner, unchanging part of myself. Here I am energy. I am light. I am the answer already arrived. I am eternal beingness, being here now. Go ahead and wiggle those fingers, wiggle those toes. Start to come back into the body. Start to just open the eyes. Start to stretch if you want to stretch. And notice right when you come out of meditation, you may feel like you just woke up, and that's okay. If you have been joining me here and you've been able to go through the whole process with me, do please put a comment in here on how this was for you. Do please also share this video so other people can watch the replay. Normally this is a $10 class, and we are doing this free of charge because we really want to support people during this time. And by adding in a comment, by sharing this on your page, or by tagging somebody, it's going to help get more eyes onto this. And I really truly believe it's going to help other people who may be going through some things. We're all going through our own things. But it's really going to help to spread that love, that light, that peace, and that sense of rest that we really all need in this time. So I thank you for being here with me. Please do come over and follow me on camykennedy.com. Connect with me if you would like to connect. I do have a private mindset Facebook group if you'd like to join there as well. I'm doing daily inspirations in there. And I again thank Prima Elements Wellness Center for allowing me to sit with you today and allowing me to share a little bit with you today. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. All right, bye.